Well, 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 it's been a couple of glorious red candle days where we are hitting some of those downside targets. $3,500 Ethereum. We've got $48,000 Bitcoin and Doggy coin coming down to 35 cents with some pretty large bounces off those targets. So if you did take advantage of it, congratulations. We're going to start off with some Doggy coin here. Let's pull them up on the charts. What I will say is the ruggeting looks like the ruggeting has begun. It's being, as we did mention, the rug was going to get pulled out sooner or later on Doggy coin. And for those people, in Doggy coin, look, call it the whales, call it whoever you want to call it, taking advantage of the retailers to scare them out of this market. And what else I've kind of noticed over the past couple of days is that almost every stockbroker, Bloomberg analyst, right? They're all out there kind of indirectly saying, look, we told you not to get involved, right? And they're really trying to scare people out of this market. So that's why I'd say we are traders here, right? We have risk management tools. And lastly, I'll just give you my 2 cents on the Elon Musk SNL skit, which I finally watched this morning, actually. And I think Elon did a great job. I just want to say about his Bitcoin tweet saying, Tesla's no longer going to accept Bitcoin because he thinks it's bad for the environment. Yada, yada, yada. That's just a total fallacy, and that's not why the market fell, in my opinion. So moving on here, Doggy coin, can it get back above 63 cents? That's the region I'd be looking for right here at about 63 cents, and I'm happy to get bullish again if it does do that. But until that condition is met, I'm going to be bearish, and overall probably heading back down to 10 cents. However, do I think Doggy coin is here to stay long term? Probably. Probably does fly to Mars with Elon one day, but I don't think you can spend your Doggy coin on Mars, or I don't think the Martians are going to accept it. I think the Martians only accept gold, if you ask me. So the whole thing sounds kind of like a fool's errand, if you ask me. And no, I don't think anybody's going to pay for a trip to the moon with Doggy coins, except maybe Elon, right? Because he has more money than you and I could spend in our lifetime. So question I've been getting, can Elon Musk save Doggy coin? No. Musk cannot save Doggy coin, and neither will the Coinbase listing. You'll just have another place to sell your Doggy coins at a much, much lower price. Does it rally into the listing this year? Probably, but overall, down is what I would expect. So what do I like, or what I don't like, really, is when people are going off what Elon Musk does and reacting with both, love and hate, and it's just a complete scapegoat. What Elon Musk says or does or doesn't do, the only thing that matters is hard evidence, dry facts. Okay, like I said, if Elon says I bought X amount of Bitcoin, which Tesla actually has done, and that's a very tangible thing, over $1 billion worth of Bitcoin. That's something you can look at. But I think people really get confused by these kind of hype and non-hype segments of the market. People really hating Elon for just expressing his opinion on crypto Twitter. And you don't ever want to ride or die based on one person, right? And the only thing that ever moves this market is not a tweet. Okay, it's not an article. It's not anybody's opinion. It's only this one thing ever. One thing. And if anybody ever says anything different than this, they are completely wrong, and they have no business in reality. And they don't know what they're talking about, frankly. And all they're trying to do is sell you kind of some hocus pocus, hopium or dopium of a story. And the only thing that ever moves this market, ever, and I'm sure a lot of people already know this, is it's an imbalance of buyers and sellers. That's the only way you can move this market. Anything else is completely irrelevant. It's a distraction. It's neither here nor there unless you are an insider at the company and you actually know information and fundamentals, something that the public does not. Unless you have an imbalance of information, then no, it doesn't matter. And even if you do have this information, it only matters if you actually take action on that information. And the only way to take action is to either be buying or selling, which guess what? Where does that show up? In the charts, of course. So once again, don't ride or die with one person. Okay, that's enough of this rant. And I'll get back on to some of our lovely Bitcoins. And so what's different? What continues to happen here? Well, looks like lower lows and a couple higher lows on the daily, but I'm sorry, lower lows and lower highs there. But what continues to happen is our Bitcoin dominance is shooting down at quite a rapid pace, coming down to some of our macro target areas, which, yeah, look at that, right at 39.5, and then our second one at 36, right? So let's see if I can put that up here on a log scale so you guys, maybe this will help. Yeah, so hopefully you can see that. Looks like Bitcoin dominance shooting down, and that's in correlation with most altcoins having a party season. But what else is happening right now? Open interest came down to 8.5 billion, breaking our support of 9 billion for the first time in a very long time. So that's going to play into our analysis, and this is a massive change in behavior, and I'll leave it at that. Let's check out the top 5 best and the top 5 worst coins. Top 5 best. We've got Polygon, Matic coming up 26%, Cardano up 17%, Harmony 12%, Near Protocol up 5%, and Cosmos up 5%. And top 5 worst coins, we've got Shiba Inu, what do you know, Telcoin, we've got Internet Computer, Nano, all coming in between 15, 10, 14%, Ravane coin down 10%. So what's going on with Bitcoin? We're going to jump back on the charts here, and we're going to take a look at Bitcoin on the daily. We're going to take off all these drawing tools, and I'm going to turn off my phone. And what happened here? On March 5th, right here, now that's March 1st, March 5th. Boom. On March 5th, we had a low put in right here. Call it right here, March 3rd. We've retested this low now for the third, I would almost say the 1, 2, 3, 4th time. You know, the more times we touch a trend line, what does that mean? The more likely it is to break. And we're coming in this blue box territory right here. So we tested again here on what do I want to say? Yeah, we've got a lower low. This came in right here on April 24th, and we got a lower low here on May 12th. So, and we got a lower high right here. So lower high, lower lows on a daily. This is looking a little more menacing than before. Yes, it does. Does this mean I'm looking for immediate downside? No, I am still looking for a bounce off this region here to spoil it for you. I am still looking for a bounce here. But this is a change in behavior, and something new is occurring. So if something new is occurring, we should be ready to change our opinion. Okay, so let's let go of past ideas and be open to new ideas. On top of that, we do see funding rates pretty much at parity, not 0.1%. So I'm going to kind of ignore that. And then I'm going to start off with something different here. Our Ethereum Bitcoin pairing, which almost hitting our macro target, right, at 8.5 million Satoshis here. That is something very interesting too. And could I see it going to 6 million Satoshis, a little deeper dive in there? This is 8.5. Let's see. Yeah, I could see it going to 8.6 million Satoshis. And this was our target back from January, the first time we had a closure, right, above the topside shoulder band, and that was a weekly reversal taking out this high, taking out this high. That was our big signal that Ethereum was about to get really bullish. And do I think this stops here? No. I would be looking for a major pullback, though. Back, maybe test this topside triangular band at 6 million Satoshis. But I would still be macro bullish, and I would expect another try to our next macro level at 10 million Satoshis, right? 10 million Satoshis, and then 13 million Satoshis way up here. So that's 10, that's 13, and these are just our last prior highs coming back to February 2018, and then all the way back to June 2017. So let's check out your Ethereum US dollar here. Ethereum US dollar. And what do we see here? Let's start off with the 2-day. So we did have a 2-day close last night, and this is almost a bullish engulfing candle, not quite. But when you do see a very bearish candle like this and something very bullish right after, it's probably continuation of uptrend. That's bullish. So I'm still looking for a short-term, target of about 42.50 right here. Even with this backfill, even with this, start off to the 2-day down, right? I'm going to stick with that target around 42.50, and ultimately somewhere around $5,000. I mean, even if we do a little fib retracement right here, and we take a look, where would this take us? Right here. So the 2618 coming right in at $5,000. That's what I would be looking at. Oop. How do I just get rid of this one? Remove. So ultimately somewhere up around $5,000, maybe early next weekend. Hey, never know, could be over the weekend. But yeah, maybe that $4,300 target over the weekend. And I do remain bullish on Ethereum for another extension of this move. I do imagine once you see Ethereum Bitcoin pairing hit that next mega resistance we identified earlier, you're probably going to see a pullback as well. And I would postulate that it's going to be somewhere around 5,000 if I had to guess. And so that's what I would postulate. So as this macro target gets hit, we'd probably get that last push higher up to 5,000 if I had to guess. And however, if we are looking at our momentum oscillators, and let's just take a look here on our secondary chart, we are starting to loosen our grip. And all of these oscillators, this is going from green to light green. We're closing below the topside cylinder band. That is kind of, showing us that this move is waning. However, I would still remain bullish at this point. I think we have one little nice push higher. We'll pull up the 3-day here. And 3-day is going to be closing here tonight at 5 p.m. Pacific. And I would say if we close anywhere above the topside cylinder band coming in here at 4,000, I would be expecting one last push higher, one slight continuation move higher, and probably to new all-time highs over the next few days. And then well, it's going to be cautionary times, as I am alluding to. So long term, do I think the macro rally is done? No, I don't think so. I think we've identified before, and I don't think $10,000 on this asset is all that crazy, right? But I'm not going to go through the signal again and go backdate it. The 3-day has been straight up bullish. When we close above that topside drill band, right, that is a bullish signal. Are we going to get a closure here tonight below? I don't know. Hopefully we wick back up. I'd love to see it close somewhere above the top side and You can see all this on, if you want to go backday and look at that signal, see that on my last video and check out for more fun type moonshot targets, right? I mean, how could you not like that? It's a big number, 10,000, right? And, look, I remember when Ethereum was $100 and now we are 40x, not bad at all. But let's take a look at the 12-hour here. 12-hour, very likely, gosh, if we could, I'm going to throw on our primary chart, get a better look here. So as long as we're holding above this yellow 21, right, I'm looking for a little, this is kind of like a bullish reset, probably test back up at least to the top side Trollinger Band. We're talking 4,300 right there. And then the other thing we do see back on our secondary chart here is a bullish reset on the MACD, right? So what was happening here, MACD making new lows in the red zone here, right? But we're still making higher lows in price action. So that is hidden bullish divergence on the MACD. And, look at the last few lows back here, right? We didn't even turn red there. So this is still some very powerful price action. Again, one more move, and I think it's time you hold your breath and be patient. One more move up to 4,300, 5,000. Be patient. And I imagine on the daily, right, we take a look at the daily. Top side Trollinger Band is, coming in at 4,300. And again, it does look like a bullish reset short term. We could come back down to 3,700, even down to 3,500. Yes, I do think that would be another major buying opportunity. As long as we are closing, though, 12 hours and dailies above 3,900, which I'll show you on the primary chart here. That's going to be above our red 10 simple. Look, it's barely holding on by the skin of its teeth here on the daily. Let's see about the 12-hour. 12-hour is it holding above? Oh, we've got 3 hours and 30 minutes left. So let's see if we can get, we can still stay above 3,900. We're, $120 away from there. I think Ethereum could do that in the next 3 hours and 30 minutes. And again, we do have daily hidden bullish divergence, price action making higher lows, RSI making lower lows, and you can see it's clearly picked off here with this indicator, giving us a buy right there. All we got to do is stay in this higher low fashion. And typically speaking, this sort of posturing, you're going to see at least one more test of the prior all-time highs in this kind of environment. Again, back to the 3-day. 3-day does show declining volume, and what does that look like? Declining volume, usually it breaks out 75%, so maybe somewhere in the next week or so we hit that $5,000 target with a big green candle, hopefully not a big red one, but let Bear Jesus or Bull Jesus decide that. So any kind of way, again, the backfill on this that we're seeing right now on the daily, I think that was normal. As long as we close on the 3-day, though, above, this is what we really want to see here. A closure above, we're turning green, back to 3,800. Above this Doge candle right here, this is all we need. A closure above that with declining volume. It's a backfill. And, again, 3,800 to 3,500, as long as we close back above the last Doge, then I am looking for the retest of the highs and new all-time highs. So back on to Bitcoin. Back on to Bitcoin on our 4-hour chart. And what did we say last time? Very likely to come in and put a base around 50,000 and grind out these lows right there. And I'm not looking for Bitcoin to have a catastrophic breakdown at this point until we get a 4-hour or a 2-hour closure below the magic number, which is 47,757. A 4-hour closure below that level is going to be more confidence inducing. Obviously, higher term time frames. The higher term time frames should garner more attention, but I do think you could see it. You could go off a 2-hour closure, and I would look for the next major leg down, which is going to be somewhere between 44 and 43,000. If we do get a closure below this level. And overall, I am skeptical on Bitcoin right now. I do think we will have a bounce off of this region right here. We could test all the way back up to 53,000, especially if we do take out this last high, right? 51,200. I think if we do take out that last high, I think it's extremely likely we do come back up to 53,200 at the very least, maybe even a little more as well. But I do think it is time to be very, very cautious with Bitcoin. And I imagine this, if I'm giving my opinion here, and really, if we're just putting all the puzzle pieces together, I would say this, okay? If Ethereum kind of continues its way upward from here, representing a majority of the altcoins, and there are several other altcoins right now making new all-time highs. If it does, then I would say we, continue for the next few days here. And maybe Bitcoin, gets a bounce here. If Ethereum does head up to $5,000 and Bitcoin pops around 53,000, right? So Ethereum hits 5,000, Bitcoin pops up to 53,000. That's when I'd really be looking for a potential actual breakdown on Bitcoin. And long-term macro, am I bearish on Bitcoin? No way. Absolutely not. To be 100% very, very clear with you, no, not at all. But does that mean Bitcoin can play out some significant downside from here? Yeah. I mean, taking a look at the weekly, what do we see on the weekly here? This is the weekly. And I'm going to throw on those secondary charts here. And here's the weekly on the secondary charts. Hopefully you guys can see that nice and clear. So what am I looking at? I was looking at this as the last prior low, but I'm going to have to adjust my opinion on that, on the macro scale. I think Bitcoin could come down to this level, call it 40,000 right here. Let's see if I put those back up. That blue box territory right here, that's 45,000. Somewhere between 45 and 40,000. That won't mean much on the macro scale, to be fair. Okay, this is right here. I don't think this is going to destroy anything on a macro level. Here's what would destroy it on a macro level. If we take out this area at 32,000, okay? But let's take a look at the CME futures and how we closed here on Friday last week. CME futures closed on Friday with this closure. It was the second closure below the bottom side Trollinger Band. And what we would call this little candle here is an inverted Jesus candle. That's, again, the secondary closure below the bottom side Trollinger Band. And most would say, we're probably going to get a bounce here. And I would agree, we get some kind of bounce. However, this is pressure down, right? So look at the volume that we got on this candle right here. And that was the 12th of May, showing the move is real, okay? When you get volume and a closure below. And what else did we also get is we were talking about this on our last video. If the MACD crossed below the zero read, as we mentioned in our last video, for a lot of people that's enough already. And if we go back to our regular charts, If we go back to our regular charts, our primary charts here, on a 4-hour, here's what I want to bring up. If we do get a breakdown below this blue box territory at 47,757, then again, our next target is going to be somewhere around 45,000 to 43,000, somewhere in that blue box down there, and probably around 44,000 bucks. Now, if we go back to a weekly, what I do want to say is we are in a weekly uptrend, right? So we are still in a weekly uptrend, and I don't know why this is not looking pretty here. Okay, let's take all that off. Still in a weekly uptrend because, and this is what I'm going to change my opinion of, this being the prior low. I'm going to move that to here because what we do need to see is a clear stop and reverse point, and that's what we have right here. This is kind of a complex top in my opinion, this region here. So this is we got to catch the highs and the lows, an obvious clear stop and reverse point, and that's been the macro for Bitcoin. As long as Bitcoin is in a weekly uptrend, that's been your direction for a very long time, typically speaking. So let's just play around with the numbers here, right? If we do shave off 50% from the high, or let's go from the wick, right? Where does that take us down? Right there to 32,000. Right there at that green 55. So some people might say, uh-oh, 50% down, right? Do I think we're going there right now? No. Why am I showing this? As a trader, we should view that green 55 as a major buying opportunity. Again, this isn't financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor, yada, yada, yada. But as it stands right now, on the daily, we have the 200 exponential coming in right there, and our last prior high, somewhere between the 200 exponential and the 200 simple. I do like that area. So if we do bottom out here, if we do head south, probably that might be a nice bottoming area. That is if and only if we meet the first criterion. That is a 4-hour closure below where? The magic number, 47,757. At that number. So what I would say, market cycles naturally get longer and longer, right? Why? There's more and more people in the market, more price action. It's just got to be churned through. We're now in a $1 trillion market cap versus 2 years ago at a $200 billion market cap. And here's what I like to do. Here's what I would like to happen. I mean, this would probably be really healthy for this to happen, right? If we kind of, let's see if I got a little paint stick I can draw here. If we did something like this, right? That might be very, very healthy for the market. Why do I say that? Let's take a look back. Let's take a look back to January 2014 on Bitcoin on a weekly. What do we see here? So I'm going to show you this up here. This is January. No, I'm going to take it on this BLX index. It's got the longest price action history. And we're going to go all the way back. Here we go. We get this parabolic run up from 145 bucks to almost 1,200 bucks, right? And then from January 2014, which is right here, to June 2016, right, till we come out and take out this high, That's about a 1.5 year long consolidation. So 1.5 year long pullback consolidation where we just bore people to death, and then it's game on again. Especially after, what did we just do? We just 3x'd our prior all-time high of 20,000, right? This was December 2017 at $20,000 Bitcoin. Where do we go? Almost up to 65,000. 3x from our prior all-time high. And what will I do now? I will throw back on our favorite Coinbase chart. I'm going to delete that little loop-de-loop right there. And, that could extend on into, 2022, something like that. But what would I look at? This 3-day chart here. And I do see that we're getting a major bounce off of this green 55. And I do like that for a bounce. Now, we do have a downtrend on the 3-day present, not on the weekly. So what is the downtrend again, guys? We got lower highs and lower lows, right? Lower low, lower highs. That is a downtrend. And what else do we have? We got bearish divergence. That's what we see here on the 3-day, where you got, higher highs and 1, 2, 3 higher highs and 1, 2, 3 lower highs. Bearish divergence on a 3-day. So that's kind of a continue to hodl your short signal. This is a little concerning, and the market is absolutely crazy right now. We're seeing plenty of nonsense projects going straight crazy to the moon right now, like Doggy coin going up 10,000% in a couple months. So do we want to check in on this Ethereum? I mean, look, if Ethereum heads up to 5,000 here, will Doggy coin get another try up? Probably yes. Probably yes. Lastly, oh, look, it's popping back up, 3,800. So we want that 3-day to close above 39.23, and that'll give us enough, I think, to get that last push higher. So I am going to go ahead and wrap this up, wishing you a blessed day and the best day here on Saturday. And I'm going to go ahead and sign out. Thanks, and have a great day.